What's going on? Why'd you want me to meet you here?
I have news about the source of Jocelyn's donor kidney.
You know where Jocelyn's transplant came from?
So Ramona Danvers.
I don't know that name.
Try Teresa Adams.
Teresa Adams, that was the woman. She was the administrator on Jocelyn's transplant team.
That's the last transplant she supervised at General Hospital. Not long after Jocelyn's procedure, Teresa moved across the country. Changed her name to Ramona Danvers. Bought a big house, fancy cars, membership of country club, the whole works.
Living large for an administrator, huh?
Well, it seems like she was supplementing her income with the organ selling ring, and then she cashed out.
Why change her name?
I don't know, but you know what? Something spooked her. I think it had to do with the circumstances surrounding everybody thinking that Jake Weber was Jocelyn's donor. But I can tell you right now, this woman can shed light into what's happening.
Some things are better left in the dark.
Come again?
That's what Jack said. I finally got in touch with him, and he doesn't want to revisit the issue. He's afraid of what's underneath the rocks we're flipping over.
Do you agree? Harvey, look, like I told you before, we don't have to, we can just shred the evidence and forget about it, or I can hold on to it until you need to see it again.
Well, come on, you know, Jax is right. We know something ugly went down, so what are we gonna find out? On the other side, knowing the medical history of Jocelyn's donor, that protects Jocelyn in the future.
Jax can't argue with that.
No. Okay, all right, how can you help me find this Ramona Danvers?
I don't need to, because I brought her to you.
Thank you for coming. I'm sorry my husband was called away so suddenly.
Well, he still makes his presence known. I'm properly intimidated. And let's be real, it's not like I had a choice about making this trip.
Okay, I won't waste your time. I would like to ask you a few questions about my daughter's kidney transplant. I know you were the pediatric transplant administrator for General Hospital at the time.
Your husband told me about your little girl. I understand that you want answers, but you won't get them from me. Do you have any idea of how many transplants I supervised? And this was what, 6 years ago?
This was the last transplant you were involved with. I want you to walk me through that day because you may remember something that will reveal the source of the donor kidney.
You're not hearing me. I don't know about any illegal organs, where they came from, where they went, nothing.
I'm not recording this conversation, and I'm not a cop. But what I am is a mother who will stop at nothing to protect her child. And lucky me, I have a husband with many resources, and I'm not afraid to use them. So let's say you adjust your attitude and answer my questions, or you will seriously regret it.
Spencer has been...
You ready to talk?
It wasn't about the money. Not completely. I did a lot of good. I saved lives. I helped people get organs who could afford them, and it made room on the transplant list for those neediest cases.
And the donors weren't exploited at all.
Dealing with the donors wasn't one of my responsibilities. I have no idea who they were, where they came from, what their circumstances were.
What was your role?
I got word when there was a transaction. I was told the name of the recipient and when the organ would arrive. I took care of the paper trail and oversaw delivery.
Who delivered the organs?
I didn't know his name, and I knew well enough not to ask. I did my part, I kept quiet, I got paid. That's how it worked. Until
what?
Your daughter's operation. Before that, I'd always dealt with the same guy. That day, somebody else showed up.
Can you describe him?
It was a woman.
Father, I don't understand.